It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
You decide when you lose, not other people.
And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollers.locals.com. What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday to you. Hi. Stuttering Craig. Oh man, do we have a big show today? We have an action packed. I mean, this is like straight up action movie. Arnold with machine guns, action packed going on, just bum, 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 all over the place. So many stories to talk about today, and I can't wait to get to it with you. With that said, hello, Blabs.
Hello from the great wild west of Guam.
Guamania. It's going crazy over there, man. It's nuts.
Lots of rain. Lots of rain.
Rain in Guam?
Yeah.
Noted. Sounds good. Joining us today, the one, the only, Arch.
Hello. Good to be back.
Glad you're back, ready to roll. How's everything going for you on your channel?
Oh, just fine. Last week has been excellent after the female custodies thing.
Yes. I'm sure a lot of people discovered you after all that. How has the blowback from that been? Has it been pretty? I don't know. What's the community said after the female custodies incident?
Well, they've not been happy, but Games Workshop is raising prices again, so I guess they're not with it. So,
you're angry. Pay us more. There we go.
Yes.
Very
classic Games Workshop.
Classic GW. Well, we're definitely going to get into Little Games Workshop a little bit later today, because as we have some stories that tie in directly to some of their employees. But we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to dig into this unhinged insanity going on in the video game journalist world. I use that term. I by the way, I am going to stop using the term journalist when it comes to Kotaku, Polygon, pretty much any of these websites. They're just bloggers at this point. Bloggers. I feel like blogging is a step below journalist, and I think that's more accurate. So any sort of titling that it says blogger, now you understand. But we're going to get into that. We got a Nintendo releasing a trailer for the new Nintendo World Championships thing we talked about a couple days ago. It was teased out, which is interesting. We have a major birthday in the world of cinema, which we're going to get to shortly, as well as a really rare Super Nintendo prototype has gone up for auction. And I'm going to tell you this right now. You will not believe how much this is going for. I am floored by this. But we had a lot going on. And on top of that, I mentioned the unhinged nature of all this insanity going on. We'll be joined by Smash JT a little bit later on in the show, about 45 minutes from now, when we dig into the story and the insanity associated with all that. So we got a big show. Do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button, and let people know that the show is happening on a day-to-day basis, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time. With that said, I'd like to remind you, we are live over at rumble.com/sidescrollers. Join us over there with over 7,000 followers. Why do we love Rumble, Blabs?
Because it grows organically.
That's right. Organic growth. And we love that. You also could have found out that X was going to be on the show. He's going to be on the show by following us over on X at x.com/sidescrollerpod. You could have found out. It would have been great. You could have seen Arch and his logo and all that stuff, and it would have been, you could have known. Just all you got to do is follow us over there. And we're live streaming the show over there as well. So you can follow us and watch the show over on X as well if you don't want to watch us over on YouTube. We also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, so follow us for memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, I don't know, spinning the wheel of violence that doesn't exist in Pal World. You're all getting hanged by your ankles.
Hanged by the ankles today. Very nice, Blabs. So follow us over on Instagram. We also have a Kick account at kick.com/sidescrollers. And if you want to listen to the show on a day-to-day basis instead of staring at our stupid faces, you can find us over on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Make sure you guys give us 5 stars over there and write us a nice little review over there. We'd greatly appreciate that. You can also find us over at sidescrollers.locals.com. That is phenomenal. A great place to find us. It is free to sign up, and you get notified every single time we go live every single day, which is great, which is more than we can say about YouTube. With that said, if you'd like to subscribe to us over here on YouTube, we would love that. To join the 80,200, almost 300 subscribers of freedom and common sense in the video game and entertainment space, we'd love for you to join us. Also, let's do our best to hit our goal of 800 likes. We're halfway there right now, so let's do our best to get on that. Doggone it, like our boy Cam says, and hit our goal of 25 memberships every single stream. Let's get on that today. With that said, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that right now, throughout the month of May, it is time to celebrate the one, the only Blabs the Tower Tard with exclusive merchandise. Blabs the Tower Tard, super happy fun karaoke t-shirt. We're opening it up. We're going to have a karaoke shop that you can pick the t-shirt and the bucket hat. First time offering a bucket hat. Blabs, I'd like to point out that as of right now, one bucket hat has been sold. So,
get on it, chat. We want bucket hats supreme.
Yes, bucket hat supreme. Let's get on that.
What am I mine, Craig? So like I can totally wear it on my birthday.
Yeah, I need to order it. I need to order it for you. I got to order you all. I'll listen. After the show today, I will order you all the merchandise. All of it. So it'll be great. Can we just stop down for a second and everybody shut up?
Yeah.
As J Mac came in with 50 Arch,
Do you know what time that is?
50 gifted memberships to the channel. The chat's going nuts. It is now green as J Mac has come in with 50 gifted memberships. My God, what an angel from heaven. Sweet googly moogly. Arch, pick the color, my man.
Oh, well, it's got to be green, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I thought you'd say that. I just felt it. I felt it coming. J Mac going on the dang wall today. Just spectacular. I have a fully flushed out brand new Sharpie today. So it's not going away. Look at that. I'm reinvesting. Look at that, J Mac. Look at that with the 50 gifted memberships. And
Amazing.
Not to be outdone. Good God.
We have to do it now.
Do it, Blabs.
Okay, guys, look what time it is.
Developers.
Yes.
Yes, we need all that in the chat right now. Thank you very much. Look, everyone's just posting it. I love it. I love this chat.
Show me Steve Ballmer. Show me Steve Ballmer in
all
the
the
chat.
Steve.
Jesus, that's ridiculous. And then we got Tomac coming in with a $50 super chat. Blabs, read it off, please. Look
so
at that.
weird. Tomac says, so Blabs, with your love of tentacles, what is your favorite type? And is the kind that shows up in the Taimanen series? I don't know what that is. I'm not a big fan of tentacles. I don't know where this rumor is coming from. I actually don't even like eating squid all that much and like octopus. I don't really like the whole tentacle thing. I'm not really a big one on like fish and things. I just like shrimp. So I'm sorry, but the answer is no.
No. Okay. Arch, what's your thoughts on seafood? You a big seafood guy?
No, I'm Norwegian. I've been surrounded by seafood since I was small, and I've come to the conclusion that it's the devil's food.
Oh, wow. Just the devil's food. So you're not a big fan of like nicely, lightly fried calamari or anything like that as an appetizer?
That's fire.
Anything that lives underneath the sea has been long marinated in its own urine and feces, and I object.
So official Arch hates the ocean.
Oh my God,
Yes.
that's awesome. We've talked about this delicacy, this lamb's head delicacy that we talked about a couple weeks ago. That was next level nonsense. I'm just tell you right now, that was crazy. So what is your ideal protein, Arch?
Something that says moo?
Anything that moves, huh?
Yes, anything that moves.
So like a really overweight woman.
Yes.
Dang, Blabs, bring the heat. Let's go. Oh my God.
I hear they taste like chicken.
Oh, Jesus Louise. Well, I'm sure there's a way we can find out.
Oh my God, chat's like my mother's in-law, Lizzo.
Let's go. Hey, Ministry of Dinosaurs came in with a $5 direct donation. Says, no matter what James Workshops does, Arch, you're still Warhammer in my eyes. Look at that. Hey, Ministry of Dinosaurs.
Arch.
He's out. He's gone. See ya.
You made him so emotional that he had to go. But also, I really like that name. What was it? Ministry of Dinosaurs?
Yeah, Ministry of Dinosaurs.
I love that name. That's awesome.
I don't know if you caught that, Arch. Did you hear that?
Parts of it.
Says, no matter what James Workshops does, Arch, you're still Warhammer in my eyes.
Thank you very much, sir.
I thought that
Don't
that was
worry.
such. Yeah,
I'm sure they'll price themselves out of the market soon.
I thought you did. We thought you got so emotional from that message that you had to take a second to compose yourself by stepping off camera.
Precisely.
Yes. Hey, Blabs, check this out.
Hi.
Big Top came in and picked up the Blabs karaoke bucket hat. Let's go. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. Thank you, Big Top.
Let's go, Big Top. Thank you very much. Genuinely appreciate that.
If you guys have a bucket hat, take a selfie and tag the Side Scrollers Twitter account, please.
Nobody owns a bucket hat, Blabs. Nobody, except for Big Top.
Just bought one. And
Except
the
for-
previous person.
That's right. Blab's going to write personal thank you notes to everybody. Who
I
picks up
will. You know what? I fucking will. On Twitter. Because
Okay.
I won't be mailing stuff. I'm not going to mail it to your house. That's weird.
Sounds good. Hey, GraphWeb came in, says, for the love of Super Earth, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. GraphWeb, it really wants everybody to really
yeah,
want
every time.
Disney Plus. Hey, Matt came in, says, video game blogging cartel. That's kind of what it sounds like, Mac. And I love your Elon Wario right there. Sujad came in, says, except Twinbeard, all the Helldiver 2 mods, CMs and mods should have been shit canned. They've admitted they're woefully unsuited for their jobs, specifically Baskinator. Well, we're going to get into the Helldivers community manager stuff a little bit later in the show, for sure, as that has been an ongoing saga, if you will, the last few days. Western Civilization came in, says, Arch, I love you. No homo.
Well, so long as you make it clear.
Because if it was. Cody came in and says, Arch chooses green. The future is green. Wow. All right, Cody. Thanks. Hopefully I did that justice. Hayden's big ass wallet says, I'm Hayden 75's evil twin. He spins super chats like a drunken sailor, but today I will ruin his streak. He's a simp for the fellowship. He'd make MCU fans blush. Mwahaha. Hashtag 199 is over party. Uh-oh. Hayden, what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that, Hayden? Well, thanks, Hayden's big ass wallet. Bear Beard says
That
green.
says beer, beard. Can you read, Craig?
Labs.
It's alliteration.
Long established. I cannot read.
No, I can't.
Green Arch, not pink for Strawberry Waifu. Disappointing. It's rough. Kyle came in with the 199, says, if that's the case, I love fish feces. Let's go, Kyle. Loving that fish poo. Matthew came in and says, Blab says she's getting that she is getting a cesspool of Blab said that she is getting, quote, a cesspool of villains winning on her X timeline. Should everyone tag at Blabbering C with animals and comedians?
Preferably just animal videos. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
All I see is just villains, like the villain arc on my Twitter timeline of all these schmucks who should be in jail. And said they're all out there winning and controlling the world. And I'm like, I want some happiness. So, yes, animal videos, please.
Bring Blab's happiness on X.
With ducks and, goats. I'm all about that life.
You know, if somebody was to tag you with a video of a duck and a goat in a really precarious position, that'd be great. I'd love that. I don't know why. I just think it sounds really funny.
I mean, the precarious position. What are you thinking?
Hey, Dark Resurrect came in with the $20 super chat. Says, we stand with Lord Inquisitor Arch and his
Retinue of gatekeepers.
Yes, okay, retinue. I've literally never seen that word before. What does retinue mean?
Retinue?
Yes, I've never seen that word.
Personal following.
Okay, all right. I've literally never seen that word.
Entourage? Is that a word you've...
Yeah, I know Entourage. I've seen the show.
Okay, retinue is a less fancy way of saying entourage.
Blabs, do you know the word retinue?
I know many words, yes.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying I didn't.
I read since a child times.
I've never seen the word retinue before. This is new to me. And is retinue?
Have you heard of the word retina before?
Yes, but they're probably not related. Retina and retinue. I'm just saying.
I know. I just wanted to see if you at least knew that one.
Yeah. All right. We stand with Lord Inquisitor Arch and his retinue of gatekeepers against this newest heresy. Custodians are male and have always been. Sisters of silence deserve more love. Dark Resurrect. Thank you for exposing me to new terms. Appreciate that. That's wonderful. Lord Tyrodax came in as a new member and gifted 5 memberships. That is awesome. If you guys got gifted a membership, make sure you say thanks. And by the way, Blabs is here. Look at that.
Yeah, and the really funny is everyone's like, "Oh, Sith Lord Blabs," but the thing is, guys, it's literally Snoopy. So it really can't be like a Sith Lord.
Love it. And Useless came in and says, "Hey, there's a novelist made. There is a novelist made a Warhammer Britain lore that Britain Knight made love with a boy. Very pedophile." Okay. Thanks for letting us know. Kyle also came in and says, "If you send DSP your address, he'll send you a spoon."
Of what?
I don't want a spoon. I don't want a spoon from DSP. Either way, if you guys get gifted membership, make sure you guys say thanks. That's genuinely awesome. Lord Tyrodax, we appreciate that. All right, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to dig right into this thing. But before we do, Blabs, why don't you fill everybody in about today in gaming history?
All right, guys. So it is May 8th, and that means Spyro Collector's Edition was released 22 years ago, back in 2002. The Sims 2 Deluxe Edition was released 17 years ago in 2007, which makes me feel so old. And Starhawk is 12 years old, releasing back in 2012. And the funny thing is, guys, I never actually played Sims, but all I remember hearing when I was a kid was Sims.
Was
Yeah.
Sims?
Yeah. Everyone
Sims
was playing Sims and Skyrim. That was like the biggest thing when I was a kid.
Arch, you have anything with Sims? Any history with Sims or Spyro?
Sims, yes. I remember Sims 1. It was a very interesting premise back then, when we were still innovating in video gaming. And the primary fun was, of course, torturing your little Sims and hurting their feelings.
That's like Blabs and Roller Coaster Tycoon, which is
I
great.
love torture. I'm a pyrotechnic. I blow people up. In Power World.
Would you please clip all that, please, and send it to me? I'd really appreciate that. That'd be great for the intro. That'd be wonderful. That's great. Hey, quick reminder that Today in Gaming History is brought to you by our friends over at Zydax PCs. If you guys haven't yet, please, if you're in the market for a PC, make sure you guys go check out Zydax PCs. They do custom PCs. It's all hand built in Salt Lake City, Utah, with US only tech support. They got a lifetime warranty on parts and labors. They specialize in customization from custom LEDs, laser etching, and paint. It's a great company, and they support us, so make sure you support them. If you guys are in the market for a PC, make sure you guys check out Zydax PCs. Link is in the description. Greatly appreciate that. All right, man. Let's get on it. We got a lot to get to. Oh, my gosh. Look at this. 5 more gifted memberships from Vescarbino. Man, it's a gifting party today on the channel. Thank you guys very much.
He brings it all out in everybody.
Archie,
In a no homo way.
You bring out the love. Just look at that. That's wonderful. Thank you, Vescarbino. If you guys got gifted memberships, make sure you guys say a thank you. Consider paying it forward. That's spectacular. Well, let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News.
Hard news.
Well, we couldn't start hard news without some really important news coming right from Blabs' timeline. Arch, what are your thoughts on Funko Pops?
I think it's a brilliant product where you manage to take other people's IPs and make them your own IP and then profit off them.
We should do that we should make like Funko Pops with YouTubers. Surely somebody's done that at some point, right?
Funko.
Blabs would be great. Oh man, Darth Blabs plushie or something.
No,
Well,
no plushies. No plushies of women. Mm-mm.
oh, don't
No
make it all
body
weird.
pillows, no plushies, none of that stuff.
Well, Arch, I think you described it perfectly. And next on the list of Funko Pop IPs to make their own is, look at Blabs bouncing up and down, Shrek. Which I got to be honest, kind of cute.
They're hilarious.
Blabs,
I didn't know
what-
I wanted them until I saw them. So these are like not released yet, guys. This has been leaked out. They're going to be released eventually in upcoming months. But they're so freaking cute. What I really want though is a Lord Farquaad Funko. Just
I mean,
some of
Shrek-
you may die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. It's like the best line.
Arch, are you a Shrek guy? Do you like Shrek?
I've watched Shrek, which is why I'm now wondering why the donkey is surrounded by tentacles.
That's a great question.
Yeah,
Why
what
is-
is that?
Why is Donkey surrounded by tentacles? Let's get a closer look at this. What is going on with this right here? Huh. Great question. Is he surrounded by? Was he in some sort of
Are they
briar?
vines? Oh, is it the rope or something?
It looks like he's in some sort of briar patch on the side over here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we missed something in the
Oh,
movie.
he glitters. Ooh.
Oh,
Bob says he glitters.
all right, nice way to go. You know, Puss is the
It's
best.
so cute.
Yes, Puss is the best, isn't it? Just a cute little character with the spinoff. But hey, it's amazing to think Shrek's been around for like 25 years now, like a quarter of a century, and probably when you think about Shrek, there was a story that was going around, or the original voiceover or test voice of Chris Farley doing the original voice for Shrek. Did you ever hear about that, Arch?
No. I'm amazed Shrek has been around for that long, honestly.
Right. Mid 90s. And Shrek has become a very big part of like pop culture. I don't want to say a
Well,
big
those
part
are
of
all like ex-Disney employees too that have created the movie, and they basically said like shit. They literally shit on Disney at the very beginning with the storybook,
right.
and they're like, "What a load of shit," and then he closes the book and everything. So
Right.
I thought that was really funny. Ex-Disney stars make their own thing, and it becomes Shrek a phenomenon.
Well, we got one movie that's God, I can't even believe it. Like I said, it's a quarter of a century old, and now we have another movie which definitely feels much older than that. But it is the 40-year anniversary of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
So number 2.
Arch, do you have any Indiana Jones stories? Like how I don't know, where's Indiana Jones rank in your trilogies? Because you're not even gonna acknowledge the 4th and 5th one.
Are we not?
No,
Why?
Why would you?
we're just gonna forget
See,
about it.
Indiana Jones is a perfect example of our current year, where you had this once masculine, larger-than-life action hero character. You know, the beautiful set pieces, the entire trope of the ancient civilizations that's always somehow managed to make the most intricate, nonsensical traps imaginable. It is the 90s, and now, well, he's being shoved to the side and deliberately humiliated and dragged through the dirt.
You know, I love the movie posters for
They were
Indiana
pretty good.
Jones. They're great. And you look at here's the Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, but like the hand hand-drawn version of it with the the centerpiece of Indiana Jones over here, and I mean, like, that's freaking iconic, just absolutely iconic. Then you have the last
best one.
so good. It's just absolutely brilliant, and it follows the same structure as well. You notice the people on the outside with the main focal point, and just like, let's be real, Harrison Ford, dude, that's a man's man. That's a handsome dude. You know he was
a carpenter first before an actor, so he can make shit. That's a man.
Now he's not even allowed to fly his own plane.
Now he crashes his own planes.
Damn. Age does that to you, man. It's rough. It's rough. Well, I don't know. I think it personally, if I was to rank them, because I got started watching the 5th Indiana Jones. I got about 45 minutes in, and then I was like, I'm gonna be out on this because I just kind of saw the writing on the wall with what was happening in it. But if I was to rank them, I would say like Last Crusade is definitely the best Indiana Jones, right? I mean, is that a unpopular opinion, or do other people like Temple of Doom or Raiders more?
Lots of people love the first one just because it's the first one. But right. I think a lot of people say that Temple of Doom is probably the worst of the 3. And I mean, none of them are bad, right? They're all great movies, but I kind of agree that Temple of Doom is probably the worst of the 3. I love 3 as the best one because the music was so great. You got Sean Connery. It's perfect.
Sean Connery.
What a Chad.
Fantastic actor.
Giga Chad.
Good. Let's go. Arch, do you have a ranking of the top Indiana Jones movies?
Last Crusade has to be on the top for me too, because Sean Connery and Harrison Ford together is just absolute dynamite.
It's a pleasure to watch them. It's so fun.
I would probably put Temple of Doom second though, just because of how hammy it was, which I appreciate more and more now. Like, I'm looking back at old entertainment that I kind of didn't like back then. It's like, you know what? No, I love this shit. Please more. Thank you.
And you got short rounds, so you know.
Temple of Doom is very, very campy, right? When you go back and watch it, and there's the Ami where he's like the lady's gonna be burnt and she's going down to the fire pit, and he's in his trance or whatever, and he comes out of it after he gets burnt by Short Round. Like it is very campy, but that's like exactly what Indiana Jones was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a campy nod to movies of yesteryear, right? And now, that I think that's the thing that people forget about Indiana Jones is like, it's supposed to be campy. It's supposed to be corny and hokey and fun and have ridiculous over the top sound effects whenever somebody punches somebody. That Indiana Jones punching sound effect is great. Just that whatever, and you can very clear he's not even coming close to to hitting him. It's like 3 feet away from his face. That's the beauty of Indiana Jones. I love it.
I think I'm gonna have to play Lego Indiana Jones tonight. I think I'm gonna have to do it just because.
You should do it.
I haven't done it in years, and the original video game that has the 3 movies in it is so fun. I forget her name. The one in Temple of Doom. The girl. Her name's Willie, right? Well, she screams in the video game, and she actually breaks glass. That's one of her superpowers in the game. Just screaming.
That's awesome. Hey, Krusty came in with a $5 direct donation. It's been a while since I've been able to watch live. Glad to see the show is doing well. Keep doing great things. Hey, Krusty, thank you very much. Appreciate this. Yes, we grow a little bit more every single day with y'all's support. Thank you very much, Krusty. Great to see you, my man. For sure. That's outstanding. Hey, Blabs, guess what?
Hey.
Noodles picked up the Blabs Karaoke Bar t-shirt. Isn't that great?
It's still great, but
still great.
Bucket hat, guys.
Let's go. Hey, Gorbs came in, says, also don't forget about the 40th anniversary of the Transformers. Is that today? Man, we should have Roddy on today for that. It'd be great to talk.
In the chat before. Rodimus Primal. Confirm. Thank you.
Please confirm. Gorbs, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Jay came in, says, Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, we're making a locals video later, and I'm going to have you react to that.
Okay, sounds good. Put that exclusive over on locals.
Yeah.
Speaking of reacting to things, I wanted to share this video. This is. We talked about this a couple days ago when there was a leak about a Nintendo World Championships game coming to the Switch that was announced today. And Arch, you don't know anything about the Nintendo World Championships at all, do you?
Nothing. This is the kind of stuff that I would see in issues of Nintendo Power released in Norway 5 years after they were released everywhere else. And be like, wow, America's such a great country. Look at what they have.
Yeah, America, let's go. All right, so the Nintendo World Championships, for those who don't know, was this thing that originated back in 1990. And there's a trailer for this game, and it's about 3 minutes long, and we'll get to about like the first 2 minutes of it. But I thought that it'd be good because it does do a pretty good job of describing what the Nintendo World Championships were and what this game is. So let's go check this out, and you can provide your thoughts on this as we go along. So here we go.
I'd like to welcome you all to the Nintendo World Championships.
Electric crowd here. The batteries are charged.
Before I walked out onto stage, I was incredibly nervous. It was my first time in that sort of environment.
The audience was insane. We're wild.
I'm having the best time of my life here.
It's so funny to see these kids like grown up, 7 years later. So yeah, I'll kind of save you the TLDR. They talked to some of the competitors, right, and the champions of it.
No, world champion.
By the way, I'd like to point out that also included in this Nintendo World Championships, but not included in the video, is Gerard the Completionist. He was not reached out for comment for this trailer after the insanity. Yes, they decided to bypass him. He was very brand safe at the time, not so much now. Well, let's
the
go.
brand safer they are, the darker the secrets.
Let's continue.
After the competition, I was definitely feeling in my head, I can do better. I can come back. I can have some sort of redemption arc. In my living room? Really?
Bring the excitement into your own home with the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition game. Challenges include racing to grab the Super Mushroom, defeating the Octoroks as fast as you can, reaching the gate as quickly as possible, and so many more. Take on over 150 challenges from across 13 different NES games. Aim for the best time in speedrun mode. Compete for the top spot in the World Championships weekly global online leaderboards. Or take the competition to the couch with up to 8 players in party mode. Nintendo World Championships NES Edition launches July 18th on Nintendo eShop. Nintendo World
And this is kind of neat. They have a physical edition.
Championships NES Edition Deluxe set will also be available, containing a gold-colored replica cartridge, 13 art cards, 5 pins, and a physical game card. Pre-orders are available now.
All right. So overall thoughts on that, Arch, as somebody who has no nostalgia for the Nintendo World Championships. You see kind of what it is. General thoughts?
Well, nostalgia is the word I'd immediately mention, yeah. And it's also like the idea of like just a speedrunny thing, like a bunch of short games set on a cartridge. Sure, why not? Good idea. But it's also just like so old world-y, this. You look at the earlier parts of the trailer, like there's kids having fun. It's a positive gaming event. It's like, wow, that's Jurassic Park.
Right.
Lost World.
Well,
I think it's really cool.
It is, and it's fun. I think the problem I have with this, and by the way, I'm gonna buy this, and I want the physical edition
For $59.99.
I'm gonna go buy it. I will buy if I can get the physical edition. By the way, they're already sold out. If I can get a physical edition,
Oh, it says releases 7/18/2024 on the Nintendo website. Check the private
Yeah, but
chat.
you can pre-order them now. You can pre-order them, and you can't buy the physical. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah,
that sucks.
But for those who may be interested in this, this actually does look very similar to a product that Nintendo had over a decade ago, back on the Wii U, which was a game called NES Remix, which is literally the exact same premise. And here's a trailer for that, and kind of gives you a rundown of that. So the idea is, does this look familiar? Oh, look, you accomplished your goal. It's the exact same thing, but all they did was put a new title on it, and test your skills in altered 8-bit challenges. It's the exact same thing. I think that's my problem with that. And by the way, once again, problem is a very loose term.
Your nitpick, I'd say. You're one of the criticism.
Nitpick. Yeah, I think that's a better way of saying it. My nitpick on it is that I don't like the Nintendo World Championship. For me, a 42-year-old dude, has like this heralded past. Like, it always has this aura attached to it. And I love the idea of physical video game competitions. I love the idea of getting together with your friends and playing against. So like the in-person mode where you can play up with 8 people, I think that sounds awesome, and I look forward to doing that. The problem is that I'm not going to be able to find 8 people to play with that are good at these things, but it'd be really fun. But I think it kind of sullies the name of the Nintendo World Championship. I just would have preferred it. They would have just recalled it like NES Remix 3. But it's a new coat of paint, and people will gobble it up because they're idiots like me.
Well, just so you know, Extra Zero's been sending me links, and he found it for Best Buy that you can still pre-order the physical. So I'm gonna put in your DMs. Shout out Extra Zero. But I have some major news for you, Craig.
And you have what?
Major news.
Oh, okay.
Mojo sent $100 over locals. He just dropped it with no message.
What? No message?
No message. He was just like, take it.
Whoa.
I think we need developers again. Take 2.
Developers. Yes.
Yes.
Wow. That Mojo, thank you so much. That is incredibly generous. Wow. I thank you very much for that. The donation, the tip over on Locals, which we love that because we see 100% of it, whereas over on YouTube and Rumble they take 30%. So thank you so much. That is incredibly generous, Mojo. That is awesome. Woo! Maybe we could put that towards the auction for this next little quick hit. Arch, were you a fan of the Super Nintendo back in the day?
Had both the old NES Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo system.
Okay.
I think I still got it packed away somewhere.
Oh man. Well, so there is a prototype for the Super Famicom, which is the Japanese version. Yes. There's a prototype that has been put up for auction. And this prototype is from 1989. Apparently, there's only 3 of these available. And pictures of it are up online. This is what it looks like. You can see it right here. It has a very similar feel to the final look of the Famicom, right? But this is the prototype of it right here. And I'm going to ask you, I always like to play the Price is Right game. And chat, this is for you as well. What do you think the price is right now for the prototype of the Super Famicom on Yahoo Auctions, Yahoo Japan Auctions? What do you think the current price is right now for the prototype Super Famicom, Arch?
I mean, at least like what, $10,000-$20,000?
I think that's a pretty good guess right now. Blabs, you've seen this, so
no, I haven't. I muted myself like a boomer, but yeah, is it USD?
So right now it's currently set in yen. In
Ooh,
yen,
okay.
right? So
I don't know.
Thematic.
100,000 USD.
$100,000.
Yeah, I have not looked at it, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, so it had skyrocketed up to over $2 million earlier.
Jesus.
And that's where it was up until recently. Now, I think a lot of that has been removed because right now, over on the actual page itself, it's currently listed at 1,500,000 yen, which is just under $10,000. So it's about $9,600. So I think someone went in and they kind of like skyrocketed the price and inflated it majorly, and they're putting in fake bids. But still, $10,000 is a pretty good chunk of change for this. So it's nuts. And the Super Famicom itself, I mean, this is the 3 original prototypes. You can see the pictures of them right there, and this is the one that's for sale. But I don't know, what's the most amount of money that you guys would spend on something super rare and collectible like that?
Oh, don't ask me that question.
I'm still working on it. I want to get an older version of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone signed by J.K. Rowling, or an uncorrected proof, which is like really hard to find, and those are probably a couple thousand. And I've not done it yet because it's a couple $1,000s and it's expensive.
Well, if you have 10 grand laying around,
expensive hobbies.
Oh, geez, what do you got
He
there?
just pulls out a sword.
What do we have? What is this? What is this, Arch? What are you showing?
This right here is an original Cuirassier sword from the 1800s. It cost me about $7,000 equivalent. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Wow. That is crazy. Can you unsheath it?
Of course.
Oh, baby. Now we're talking.
Damn! Wow.
Have you ever cut anything with that sword?
It's like, I use it for pineapple.
God, no. At that price, it's going to stay oiled up somewhere safe forever.
Now, do you take it in to get like, cleaned up or anything, or do you do it yourself?
It's already been worked over quite significantly from its original state. Changes to the hilt and the scabbard, etc. After that, it's just maintenance and keeping it in the sheath and oiled up as long as possible.
And you do that, yeah?
Yes, oh, definitely.
Our buddies over at G&G, they had the show. What was it called, Blabs? Where you show off all your stuff?
Oh, shit. What was it called? Bragging rights. There you go.
Yeah. They had a show called Bragging Rights. I think you'd win today, Arch, by unsheathing your $7,000 sword. Is it called a rapier? The one with the handle like that? Isn't that the idea? That's what it's called, right?
The handle doesn't decide much about the sword. This is technically a saber, according to the French, although it doesn't have any curve to it.
Saber. There's one thing I don't know. It is sword lingo. I'm not aware of sword lingo, but I'll tell you what, I'm willing to learn. All right, we got a guest joining us right now, and we're going to spend the next little bit talking about this crazy story. Let's bring in Smash JT. Smash, great to see you, buddy.
What's up? Good to see you guys. Can you hear me all right?
Got you all right, man. How's everything going for you in your crazy corner of the world?
Unfortunately, I'm getting used to this. It's becoming too normalized with the insanity on a daily basis the deeper you dive into the video game industry.
That is why side scrollers exist, because the video game industry and the entertainment world are fucking insane.
It is. It absolutely is.
So let's talk about this, man. We'll get to specifically the story here, but let's preface this. The Kotaku blogger came in and reached out to your wife after I don't know, give us the backstory here.
It's so screwed up. It's like I can't even talk about it without this is not like I think it's funny. It's like so ridiculous. My brain can't comprehend it. It's like so out of bounds. I guess the TLDR is she was upset that I retweeted a random post from a random dude among a slew of posts that I retweeted yesterday or 2 days ago for the End Kotaku hashtag that I started and created a petition on change.org where I was like, this company needs to go. It's a cancer to the video game industry. It makes professional journalists look bad because they get grouped in with a company like Kotaku. And that was my main push for it. And apparently one of the people of the many, like over 10 that I retweeted, one of them had something like a backstory with her that I had no idea about. And she like went from 0 to 1 million instantly over that. And I was like, okay, sorry. Like I deleted the tweet of like, I had no idea of your history with this guy. And I deleted it, but that wasn't enough. That wasn't the problem. Like you already know that she wants more. She wants people talking about her, and she's getting her wish, no matter how screwed up it is. So I deleted that tweet, told her I was done with it, like whatever. And then she screenshot it before I deleted it and plastered it on her own Twitter profile, telling her followers how awful of a person I am because I wanted her dead. And I'm like, how did you get that from that? You know, how did you make that leap?
So okay. Question. Do you want the Kotaku blogger dead?
No.
Okay.
As I stated in my video yesterday, no, I do not want her dead. I don't. Just because I say I want Kotaku to go away, that doesn't mean I want her dead or anyone else working there dead. I almost wonder if they've been so ingrained in the culture of Kotaku that they take personal offense to when you say you want to end a company, that they look at it like they are the company. It's like, no, you're a person employed by this company. You are not the person I want to be gone. You know, like that's wholly separate. I guess it's a part of what happens, but you're still going to be alive, hopefully, after it. It's not.
Okay.
The leaps to this death stuff, just it's so cringe. Like it's so schoolyard. Like
so okay. Okay, so you retweeted something from somebody who had an interaction with her somewhere down the line. She took offense to that. She approached you about it. You said, "Oh, my fault. Didn't know." You unretweeted that, but before you unretweeted it, she screenshotted it and then was like, "Look at this guy," right? And called you out for retweeting it, even after she approached you, even after you unretweeted it, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then she calls you out on it, right? So where do we get to the point to where she's reaching out to your personal family? Because I think anybody who's online,
go ahead.
I'll say anybody who's online, I think there's a very distinct line, and that crosses the line.
That's the nicest way to put it. There was one step in between that happening and her contacting my wife. The step in between was she started DMing me, and she was just telling me how awful of a person I am. And all the screenshots and everything, if anyone's looking for them, they're on smashjt.com. I have the article and every links, all the evidence, everything screenshotted, because it's probably going to go into private mode, probably delete it. So I always make sure to save the evidence, because you know how these people operate. So anyways, she started DMing me, and it was just whack job messages that I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not touching this. I know she's trying to bait me. She's trying to, it's almost like, what do you call it? The woke police. Anything you say will be held against you in their twisted way of how they want to make you sound. And they'll turn whatever you say into something god awful. And it's like, I'm not saying that. Who said that? That's not what I'm saying at all. Anyone with a clear conscience and brain can look at that and be like, yeah, that's not, what the hell are you talking about? Clearly there's something in her personal background and history that's affecting her and how she carries herself in her daily lives right now. So I ignored. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely get to that. I mean, I think that there's a larger issue here, right? And okay, so she reaches out to you privately, yells at you privately. You do not respond to her, so she then goes public with it and starts yelling at you. And at this point, she reaches out to your wife.
Yeah, after I ignored her 3 different DMs over the course of a 10-minute span, I was just like, this is like, I was like laughing. I'm like, she is off her meds. Like, there's something not right with this person right now. I have my own life and my own stuff. Like, I was literally editing the Xbox video for my YouTube channel, and I'm like, what is this? What is this lady doing right now? Like, I don't have time for this. I'm going back to editing my video. And because I ignored it, she got upset. And the next message I got was a message from her saying that she contacted my wife, or she was contacting my wife to tell her how horrible of a person I am. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this person?
Was this a direct message to you, or was this public?
This was public.
Because this looks like public, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that blew my
Anyways,
mind.
I found your wife's Facebook. I found your wife's Facebook and asked what she thinks about her husband of her children harassing women online and laughing when they share that sometimes they're supporting has been, or someone that they're supporting has been threatened to kill them for weeks. Okay.
I want to be clear. I'm not the husband to my children.
Right.
Professional journalism 2024, everyone.
So I mean, it goes without saying. Like,
you don't even know where to go with that. You're like, what?
Well, I mean, I really don't, and I think that's the idea of Arch. What are your thoughts on this first and foremost? Like, I mean, I can guide this interview all you want, but I would like to hear y'all's thoughts on this.
Well, Alyssa Mercante is a known entity, shall we say. She's behaved erratically on many an occasion. This is par for the course. Like, every interaction I've ever had with a journalist has been antagonistic, shall we say. And it is ironic, of course. Like, a simple retweet will send them spinning off into orbit, and that will only then escalate into crazier stuff, and they'll contact people's families as if that's completely normal too. But they don't recognize that as the obvious harassment that it is.
And to be clear, I didn't even say this. The retweet that I tweeted was someone saying like end Kotaku hashtag, which is what I was retweeting. And it was talking about like a virtual reality execution or something. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I didn't care, because it's just like, it's just a screenshot of something. It's not, there was nothing threatening about it. When I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. It was, you really would have to bend yourself into a pretzel to make sense of that being offensive. I was like, okay, whatever. But that's what I said in my video yesterday too. It's like, these journalists don't play video games. They don't understand the culture of gaming, and they take everything so seriously, almost to the point of they do that because they need the attention in an era where YouTube is taking it away from them.
Just out of curiosity, so she felt threatened by the post about the virtual, the whatever, what'd you say, the virtual assassination,
virtual reality execution.
Okay.
And I'm like, have you ever gotten teabagged in Halo, Craig?
Right. So she felt threatened by that. I'm curious if she felt threatened by the bounty, the money that was put up, or
of course you didn't care about that. No, that's not a problem.
just curious. Wow, it's interesting. So she messages your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Your wife, I'm sure, comes to you and is like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I can, if you want, I can read what she wrote to my wife.
Sure, by all means, give us the rundown. Yeah.
And I covered this in my video and in the article on smashjt.com if people want.
Sure. We'll absolutely link to all this. And so if people want to check it out themselves.
She goes, this is like, we got to try to do this with a straight face. And it's like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not laughing. I'm like so full of anger of like that someone would do this. It's just so completely out of bounds.
Right.
I don't know. Nor I guess it's applicable to the situation, but I don't care about your personal relationships, you guys. I mean, we all have our own lives. That's not here or there with talking about video games. You know what I mean? When someone goes after my wife, and more importantly, our relationship, because that's like the pinnacle of what my life is, I take that very personally. Like that's a sanctity of like my life. Don't go there.
Sure.
My wife
As,
and I
right. Your marriage, right? Like that's the thing.
Right,
It's like
exactly.
you're dealing with people's real lives, their actual marriage, you know, and I can hear the response now is, well, you're messing with my job, right? You want to end my job, right?
Yeah.
I don't think those are parallel at all. But
although that's a good point though. That's probably how she justified it in her brain to be like, oh, I can do this because he's coming after my job, so screw him and his relationship. When ultimately my goal was not to end her career. If you even took the time, I'm talking to her, to read the petition, it's talking about adjusting Kotaku's standards to having a higher echelon of writing standards there. That's really the ultimate. And if they aren't able to do that, then end Kotaku. That's literally what it says. Like, I'm not trying to end everyone's career. I need everyone to take a look in the mirror at what they're doing to our industry right now and why it's a bad thing. And I think that's an honorable thing. I don't think that's something that should be pissed on by these people, but obviously they've held the reins of power for so long that when someone stands up to them, they're like, oh, how dare you? Do you know who I am? You know, that's the mentality of these people.
Well, I think there's one of the biggest issues that I think that in this whole space that has really been conflated and really, you know, put a giant magnifying glass on is there's a giant difference between criticism and harassment, right? And people take criticism as harassment. And I think that's what's happening here, right? Whereas by you criticizing her, then it gets turned around and she literally harasses you. And for them, it's an, you know, an eye for an eye.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So, okay. So the message is to your wife.
All right. So when I read this, I was very angry because her intention is to do, and I mean, I'll let you make up your own mind. I don't even want to say it. Yeah, I'll let you. She goes, hi, I'm reaching out because I just want you to be aware of the fact that your husband and father of your children is sending heaps of harassment towards women, including myself and other folks on social media over video games. He's writing articles about me, making videos about me, and even made a petition about me. Now, I'm going to stop right there. It goes on, but real quick, I said in my video yesterday when I covered this, my videos about her were all factual, which is what I do on my channel. I talk about video games and this, like what you do, same thing. I call people out when I feel like they're out of bounds. I've even called you out. I don't know if you saw that video or not, but
no.
I was like, it was a couple of weeks ago. It was your Game Awards thing, and I'm just like, I don't know if I'm on board with this. Like that was my reaction. But look at you. You're not like, oh my God, get him off here. Like that.
You were harassing me, Smash. I am so upset. No, but listen, that's the thing. And here's the thing, right? As far as taking his back goes, like I expect people to be, it's the internet. I don't expect them to be like, oh, let's get on the boat. Right. I need to show people with my actions what I'm doing. Right. Which I certainly will. Right. And people can be critical of that or side scrollers or me or whatever. That's fine. Be critical. Right. You just don't need to harass. Right. You certainly don't need to contact my wife and be like,
could you imagine after you did that, if I was like, I'm going to contact Craig's wife and I'm going to tell her how he is trying to extort money out of people and he's a horrible person. Like, what the hell?
Right. Well, I mean, hey, like I said, everybody's open. That's the thing is when you're online, especially when you are a writer, right? You should be, people should be critical of you, right?
I would hope so.
Or a YouTuber or whatever, people can be critical.
I invite the criticism. I mean, hell, most of my videos are very controversial. And if there was not criticism of me, I'd be like, what is wrong with people? Like, obviously it's controversial what I talk about. You should have a different opinion. Let me know where you're coming from. Let's have a conversation about this. Let's put ourselves in a better place together with this conversation we're having. Like, that's the whole, and as you know, that's the whole point of it.
So, okay, so she reached out to your wife. She says these things. She sends DMs. Hey, do you know what your husband's doing? Your wife then walk me through this with your interaction.
Okay, well, let me keep going because sure. That's not all of it. Today, he shared a post from a man who has been threatening to execute me in virtual reality. It's hard to read this without laughing. For weeks, a man has been photoshopping himself, pointing guns at me and blood on my face. When I pointed this out to your husband, he deleted the post. He then almost like I deleted it, like, oh, I got caught. It's like, no, I deleted it because you told me you were offended by it, so I deleted it. Like, people are like, you should have stood your ground and left it up there. I'm like, if I retweet something and I don't know the backstory to it and someone takes offense to it, I'm like, all right, fair game. I'll take it down. Sorry, I didn't know the backstory. I'll delete it. That offended you. Mm-hmm. All right. If I retweet something and I do know the backstory and I stand behind it and someone says, no, get rid of that tweet, I'm like, no, I know the backstory and I'm leaving it up. Like, that's the difference here. And that's why I took it down. Anyway, when I pointed this out to your husband, he deleted the post. He then commented jokingly on a post I made about him platforming a violent man by sharing the petition he's made to end the website I work for. And the man who photoshopped himself pointing guns at me, keep in mind, as I'm sure you've I've seen your Photoshop battle with her with the screenshots and your hair and all that stuff. Like, it seems to be perfectly fine in her world if she's doing it to other people. But when people do it to her, it's harassment. It's a one-way road, and it's comical how she can't even see it, how obvious it is. It's like right in front of her and she still ignores it, to the point of, and I'm sure you saw this, she tweeted out her in front of a green screen, basically telling everyone, have at it, do whatever you want to me, ha ha ha.
Right.
And then she takes offense to when people do it. I'm very confused. It keeps going, by the way, but go on.
Well, okay, so she goes to your wife. Hey, look what she did. Look what your husband did. What a bad person he is. What does the conversation look like with your wife after that? I mean, not to get too personal, but I'm sure your wife's
fine. It's fine. Well, it's one paragraph left, and then I'll go into that. I can't speak to the nature of you. I can't speak to the nature of your relationship or what kind of father he is, but I certainly wouldn't want my partner harassing women online over video games and platforming the people that are threatening to kill them. It seems like something he shouldn't be so invested in at his age. Have a good one.
I can't speak for it, but I'm going to go on and do so anyways.
I mean, when someone says that last line, I can't speak to the nature of your relationship, like,
but
what? Get back on your meds. Get out of my wife's DMs. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, what? You don't know me. You don't know her. You don't know our relationship. What did you yesterday? What if we were on the rocks? What if there was an issue we're dealing with and we're trying to make it through? I mean, every relationship has its speed bumps. It's impossible not to. And what if she caught us at a bad time? You know, like that's what really irked me about this, is how she didn't care. It was so flippant about ruining my life over video games. Like, how did we get to this point? Is I keep asking myself. And to get to your question, Craig, how did my wife react to it?
Mm-hmm.
So after I saw her Twitter message say that she contacted my wife, I was like, yeah, right. And I just kept going back to editing my video, and I was thinking about it more. I was like, oh my God, did she actually? I'm like, she wouldn't have posted this. She didn't. I got up and I went over because my wife was she's getting over a cold, so she was laying in bed, and I walked over. I was like, hey babe. She's like, hey. I was like, did you get a random message from anyone recently? She's like, yeah. What is that about? I'm like, it's a real can of worms. And my wife's like, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't care about your YouTube. Like, she lets me do the YouTube stuff, but she's like, I don't care about getting involved in that drama and stupid stuff that you do, which ultimately is what it boils down to. It's drama and stupid stuff. She's like, do whatever you want to do, but leave me out of it. I was like, right. This person is clearly unhinged, and there's something really off with them. So I'm gonna need screenshots of that because she's probably going to delete it, and we need some evidence that this took place, because holy crap, that is. I'm just like, I don't have words for it. And she was like, rolled her eyes. She's like, whatever. Like this, by the way, it's not the first time over the 8+ years I've been doing this that someone's reached out to her trying to say something about me. It's like there's just very, as you guys know, there's a very small percentage of people out there that are just very weird, that just get really fixated on a situation and they try to do as much damage as possible. So it's not the first time it's happened, but it's the first time it's ever happened by someone with an actual name and face that represents an organization. Like that actually had an impact, as opposed to the other ones where you just brush off and be like, yeah, it's just a crazy lunatic. Like this is a crazy lunatic that actually is a senior editor at a corporation. It's crazy.
Well, she may be the only editor, as Kotaku has also fired 4 more people.
Yeah, I heard about that.
From it. But okay, so I guess what's next? What's the next situation here? Because like this is, it's obviously when anybody with any semblance of common sense can see this is like next level unhinged shit, right? Like she's not contacting your wife for a story. She's contacting your wife
to try to destroy my relationship.
Right. That is not the actions of a journalist. No. Right. And I use that term endearingly. Right.
But it is the actions of an activist.
For sure. And I think that's, the reoccurring theme here. Once again, why we need to take games back, because these are the people that are voting on your favorite games of the year, right? These are the people that are voting on the awards shows that that give your favorite games accreditation and awards.
Touche. Look at you turn it. I like that.
You get it? You get it now, Smash? Do you understand? Are you starting to get it now, buddy?
Well, I got it.
There you go. Right. And people, so as I said to you, I said, I would rather talk with you about this than about you on it. And people say, well, how come you don't have Alyssa on? Simply put, I don't trust her. I don't trust her to come on the show and to be respectful. I don't trust her to come on the show and not say anything that would get us banned or get a strike on the channel. I don't trust her, and we've talked about that before with Blabs and I have talked about it before. I invited her on very cordially and respectfully. I reached out to her privately via email initially and to invite her on when all this nonsense was going down initially with the SBI stuff. And she rejected it to half court. Cool. That's fine. And I like to think that, at a certain point, there's a pattern of behavior, right? And she has shown erratic behavior the entire time. So yes, of course, we rescind all invites. I will have to talk about her then with her.
Well, it's to your point. It's the same feeling I had when she started DMing me. I'm like, there's no good that can come from talking to her. Unfortunately, she has caused a situation of a conversational breakdown where you can't move the conversation forward, because anything you say will be held against you and your words will be twisted for a narrative from an activist. And unfortunately, that's who she is, which is exactly why I started the petition in the first place to end Kotaku.
All right. Well, this extends further, and this actually brings up ties in really well with Arch here. So she went after, she approached your family, your wife, right? I mean, after all, you are the father of her children. I mean, so hey, but there are people that work in the industry that are like, fuck yeah. Like she's doing the right thing.
That's actually, if I wasn't, look at this. Here's the thing. Hold on a second. Let me click publish here, because I had this ready to go on smashjt.com, which you already have it up here from That Park Place. But this guy is exhibit A as to what is wrong with, very loosely use the word, professional journalism today. They've had so much power and influence for so long that they feel like they can do no wrong. They feel like whatever they say will be backed by people high up in the game industry. So it doesn't matter what you peons think or what you say, because the people that hold the power are making just as bad decisions as the people under them, allowing them to continue this rotting from the inside out of the industry. And I just published an article on smashjt.com talking about this guy. I don't know if you want to bring that up or that Park Place. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
But
well, we got that Park Place pulled up right now, and we'll talk about this one right here. But okay. It says Magic the Gathering and Warhammer artist Paul Scott Canavan says he wants to track down and string up loved ones of people he disagrees with. Arch, that sounds like really a stable behavior.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a little poorly worded, that's all. No intent behind it or anything, of course.
He said in response to the Kotaku blogger, says, this is absolutely the play. We should be doing this with all these weird creeps. All you weird creeps with families and kids and wives and loving relationships.
So weird.
Track down their significant others and mothers and string them up. Huh. Okay. So people called him on it, right? And this person says, all right, let me find your mother and partner and harass them. Fair game. Gotcha. I love to learn from the good guys. And he says, I mean, if I turn into a total piece of shit and start harassing women online, then yeah, go nuts. And by the way, he has since locked his account. Arch, are you familiar with this person at all?
Not over much. I did look him up. I found his link tree. He's worked on like one project for Black Library, so he's not like a big name in the Games Workshop or Warhammer spheres. But the very fact that he is an accredited artist who works for Magic the Gathering and these big companies means that this is accepted within his sphere of existence. The companies think this is just fine.
Well, that brings us to the Umbrella guy. It says, fascinating. Is that a company stance? Stringing up moms and significant others? And he responded with, I think you may have misunderstood. The conversation was about holding people accountable for their attacks on the internet. I don't think it's a super controversial take. Did you
it's almost like
what I said.
It's almost like these people have never seen a mirror.
Right. It's pretty amazing. And then he accused Grums of sending a hate mob after him. Seems a little unkind, considering I was just agreeing that people who attack others on the internet should be held accountable by stringing them up.
Isn't that sending a hate mob to people by doing that? Like, why is it okay for him and not Grums? And I'm not saying Grums did it, but I'm just saying by his logic, that makes no sense.
Right.
Well, it's because it's not his logic. That's why.
There's no logic.
And this is oh no, there's a lot of logic. This is Herbert Marcuse's 101. Maximum charitability to your friends, maximum uncharitability to your opponents.
I didn't know being interested and passionate about video games would lead me down a path of psychological and sociological theories of how life works. Like, can we just play video games? Like, what the hell?
I think that's like the craziest thing about all this is for the vast majority of people are just like, leave me alone, let me play games, right? Just don't shove this shit down my throat. And that's how people feel about this. And the actions of these people are indicative of why people are tired of it. You see the response to this, like, hey, you criticize, they see it as harassment, and then ultimately they need to harass in response to their harassment that they received, right? And
let me interrupt you real quick. Why do you feel that? Am I getting feedback here? Sorry. Why do you feel like that's the way? Why do you feel like they do that? Do you think it's because they've discovered it's a lucrative financial career to create controversy, or is it activism, or what is the reason for this angle in your opinion?
Arch, I'll let you take that, then I'll give you my thoughts.
Oh, we could go down a rabbit hole here.
We expected it.
But generally speaking, this is a part of ideology that has worked its way into gaming, into every sphere of our existence. And to put it simply, these people don't understand this. Like, Alyssa McCarthy has no actual operative understanding of the politics behind this, but they exist in a world of black and white. They are the good guys. They are doing this for the right reasons, representation, diversity. And since they are the good guys fighting for the good cause, anything they do to you is inherently justified. It is repressive tolerance. That's why. So when they do something to you, even if you have done the opposite, they will go, okay, well, I did it to the bad person, thus it's good. But you're the bad person. You can't do that to me, the good person. It really is that simple. Like they live in a fantasy world of this.
I think it actually is it goes even deeper than that. I think that a lot of these people are broken. A lot of these people come from broken families. They come from they had parents that they didn't feel loved them. They had parents who families that came from divorces. They had something bad happen to them along the way. They had some sort of negative thing happen to them personally, and then ultimately they feel like they need to kind of, for lack of a better term, get back at society, get back at people. And then they are, for lack of a better term, indoctrinated in this way that they can get back on society. And they have a platform to do so now, with X, social media, Kotaku jobs, whatever. And if there's one thing that has become painfully clear, is that there are two very different societies, right? And the vast majority of people who are screaming and just crying harassment, if they were to talk to themselves, like them, the exact same them 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the person 10, 15 years ago would probably punch the version of themselves right now in the face and be like, you're a fucking idiot. Right? Because I think having a strong family is great. I think that raising your kids with a two parent household is very ideal, right? And I think that's where a lot of this stems from, is personal issues that ultimately, once they get any sort of semblance of power, you have people who are extremely insecure narcissists, if that makes sense. Extremely insecure narcissists who, as soon as you see this with the community managers, as soon as they get a tiny snippet of power, it goes straight to their head. And you see people are like, yeah, like this guy clapping along, or yes, we should do this, right? And they're like, yes, we should. And it validates those thoughts over and over again, where you have these insecure narcissists. And that's really what it comes down to. And it's sad. That's the thing. That's my worry with all this, is I'm not mad at these people. I'm sad for these people. I'm sad that they have so little self-worth, self-belief in themselves, that they have to lash out against other people. That's what makes me most sad. I'm not mad. I literally pity them. And that's the thing. Like, I would love to help these people regain some sort of normalcy in their life, to be somewhat content with having a normal life.
But let me interrupt you, though. People like Alyssa have risen to the place that she has by making poor decision after poor decision. So I would say society has failed her by empowering her based off of having poor decision after poor decision, getting her in the place that she has gotten to, tells her brain, I need to keep making poor decisions because that's what made me successful in life. And that's where she's gotten right now. That's where she is.
Yeah. Well, and as this has been pointed out several times in Trinoculus says, your empathy will be weaponized against you, Craig. Right. And that's
anything
how we get here.
Weaponized against you. Anything you say will be weaponized.
Right.
Like I could imagine her watching this right now and just be like raging internally, being like, "Oh, they're just awful people. They're so bad." Like, why? Because we're realistic about life.
Right.
That makes us bad.
And this goes back to like there are two societies that have formed, right?
Yeah.
There are people who feel like this is normal, and there's people who, like, for the literally all of society's history, have thought, well, that's not normal. Right? You probably shouldn't approach somebody's husband or wife or something, about like 99%, 99.9999999.8 or 8% would say, hey, that's not cool. But it just takes that 0.001% for them to clap, and then they get empowered by, okay, that's fine. So yeah, it's tough.
Just think
It's tough.
her mentality to get to the point of thinking it was a good idea to reach out to my wife in DMs means that she justified it in her head, like you said earlier, that she is in the right. And she needs to warn my wife because my wife doesn't know about me. And she does.
Right.
Like, and that's her whole
Right.
angle is, I have this information on your husband about why he's so bad, and you need to know this about him. And I'm like, what? No, you don't. And none of that is true. So what is wrong with you? Like, why are you doing this? What? And again, like I said in my video yesterday, it's trying to make logic out of this nonsense would make me go insane just like they are. So I just kind of throw my hands up and smile.
Delta comes in with the donation, says, Craig, I think you're calling someone like Alyssa poorly. She apparently had an interview with Hard Drive. I believe she had two fully supportive parents, two fully supportive semi-stern parents that maybe worked hard to get her where she is now and not nurtured morals. My 2 cents. That's interesting. I mean, hey, if she had two great parents, awesome. I think that she may be the anomaly.
Well, the other thing too, Craig, you didn't even talk about how she blocked me before I even talked to her like a couple months ago, and then unblocked me. And we had a quick conversation where I shut her down, and it pissed her off because I totally owned her. And then she blocked me again. And then randomly, like a week ago, she unblocked me and started messaging and commenting and tagging me on stuff. And I'm just like, make up your mind. Like, do you want to talk to me? Do you want this or do you not? She can't even figure that out. And on her timeline on Twitter yesterday, I think it was yesterday, she wrote like, my parents are fair game. Like, or my mom, I think she said my mom is fair game. Like, you guys go ahead and reach out to her, say all you want to her, like, whatever. I don't have a problem with that. And like, she's justifying it in what she did to me as like, I'm the problem for having an issue with her reaching out to my wife.
Right. In totally unrelated news, Kotaku has fired 4 people, including Levi Winslow. So there you go. 4 people no longer have jobs at Kotaku. This is one of the great articles. Stellar Blade's Eve is hottest when she's not revealing everything. But this is also the same article that wants to see all sorts of dick and vagina in other games. So
do you think Kotaku failed the employees because of the environment they've created, and now they've set them up to fail for flourishing in that environment for so long, and now they're realizing, oh wait, no, it's not okay, and now the people that were doing it are now being penalized? If I want to take their perspective of this, of maybe it's Geo Media and Kotaku's fault for enabling this for so long, and now they feel like they were doing the right thing, and now it's Kotaku that failed them instead of realizing that they were the problem all along.
Art, what do you think about that? Do you think that the parent company is setting them up to fail, or do you think that Kotaku is the one who's did they make their own bed?
Definitely made their own bed. This has been an activist company for a very long time. I remember back during the first round of Gamergate when Total Biscuit had I think the founder or the CEO of Kotaku on, where he explained their philosophy was to have not objective coverage, but rather coverage by individuals with their own biases and opinions. That's where this kind of began, when we stopped valuing objectivity and began valuing personal opinions in something that is Well, it's games. There is a certain objectivity here. Like subjectivity into course of tastes, sure, but this then ballooned into Kotaku being almost more of a political website than a gaming website, like most of them. If they were just a video game website, then that might be a different subject, but Kotaku hasn't been one for a very long time. Wasn't there the other day they released a article talking about how Hades 2 characters were super hot, but at the same time Stellar Blade was disgusting? So
Right.
this is not objective. This is obviously ideological.
Do you know, I would argue it might not be either. It might be that they just have friends in the industry and it's a financial incentive to push certain games to make them successful. And potentially they have friends at the Hades game company and they want to make that look great. And they might have, we don't know. Like, this is all conjecture at this point. They might have someone at Shift Up that they just didn't get along with, or they just have a weird hatred for Asian people, or like there could be something going on that we don't know about, which is what's creating this double standard.
Conceivably.
You know, let's say you get your wish, Smash, and Kotaku goes away.
Mhm.
Right? Kotaku goes away. What happens then? Does the world heal a little bit? Or is there a little bit of a course correction, or like, I don't know, what happens if Kotaku goes away? Well, not if, but when Kotaku goes away in its current form, because everybody knows this is coming.
Yep. When Kotaku goes away, I think initially it will be a breath of fresh air for the entire industry. And then the ebb and the flow of the wave, the people that were all let go will find new jobs in other areas and slowly work their way back into the industry. And then they'll get brushed away by the waves. And then slowly, it's almost like a course correction of the game industry and journalistic integrity of finding the best people naturally through this course of action, and then finding themselves either with a job or without it based off of survival of the fittest, if they're cut out for it or not. I think, unfortunately, the problem is it's a much longer timeline than a lot of people would like to deal with, because I think this is one of those, the battle will be won, but the war is never over type situations.
Right. Well, man, I'll tell you what, it's a pretty messed up situation, man. It's a pretty messed up situation, to say the least. And I'm sorry that you're dealing with it. Sorry you got to deal with all the nonsense associated with it. With that said, I hope that put some eyes on this insanity, and yeah, man, keep doing you, even if it is criticizing us, or I'm sorry, harassing us.
That's why I can appreciate you, man, because you can take it. And I would like to think that's something a lot of people could learn from, is just go rolling with the punches and understanding that's a part of what you do. You know, I understand it, you understand it, and then there's another section of society that just will never.
You know, I think at the end of the day, as the chat points out, Arch, Smash, me, we're all just normal men.
We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
Sorry, I just needed to get it in there. I'm sorry.
I'm offended that you didn't include me as a man. Did you just assume my gender?
Arch, Smash, me, Blabs, we're all just normal men.
We're just normal men.
Look at the chat. There's so many.
That's right. All right, Smash, we're gonna let you get out of here, man. Thank you very much for sharing your story with us today, and good luck with all things. We'll keep an eye on it, and let us know if anything else happens. Obviously, everyone go check out Smash's channel and smashjt.com.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much again for having me on. Have a good one.
For sure, man. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Woo, man, that is crazy. Wow. It just keeps going down the rabbit hole there, doesn't it? Just keeps going down the rabbit hole. I did not expect to go for 45 minutes talking about that, but that went. It went.
I told you we'd go down a rabbit hole today.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Let's touch on this Helldivers 2 thing before we before we go on to your support. Once again, your support today has been spectacular, guys. Thank you very much. We'll make sure we read all the direct donations and Rumble rants and Super Chats before we roll out today. But let's get to this Helldivers 2 thing as it is in the title. Blabs, you have your screen pulled up. Did you want to share something?
Yeah, well, I mean, there it is. I was going to say it wasn't loading, but I was getting a whole bunch of shit on Monday when I was saying, guys, don't cut off the slack yet. You know, like, don't let them have any inch of power because it still says that PlayStation Network is required on Steam. And I was being told, oh, shut up, Blabs, chill, Blabs. Well, it's still there, guys. It's Wednesday now, and they announced it Monday morning. So don't go playing Helldivers 2 yet, guys. Don't immediately give them any inch until that is completely removed from Steam. Don't give them a little cent. That's all I have to say. And don't change your reviews yet either.
Well, the reviews have definitely changed. Arch, have you been following the Helldivers stuff?
Little bit. See, I don't agree with the idea that we should separate Sony from the company here. I think they both wanted this, indicated by the community managers. I think they're both to blame.
Thank you.
And I don't see any reason to let them off the hook yet. I mean, they fired one of the community managers, but they fired the one that did the least wrong, in my opinion.
We talked about this yesterday briefly, but yeah, Spitz apparently is the community manager that's been fired. And once again, I don't know who these people are. I'm just going based off of their names. But so Spitz, S-P-I-T-Z, went out and pretty much said, hey, if you don't like this, downvote the game. And Spitz apparently has now been fired for this. And he was just saying, you know, like, or I guess, I don't know if it's a he or she or they or whatever, but, you know, I appreciate even more that people can play the game again without any restrictions. I knew the risk that I was taking about refunding and changing reviews. I stand by that. It was my job to represent the community. That's what I did. So, you know, they've been fired for that. And as you pointed out, Arch, like the other community manager, didn't they like say something about Grunt? They threatened his life or something?
Yeah. I mean, essay and everything.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they said he essayed someone who used to work for him. Those mean allegations.
One of them launched allegations of, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube anymore, against Grumps. He has not been fired. He's only been demoted. And the woman that seems to have caused a lot of this, oh God, what was her name again? Baskinator, I think?
Yes, Baskinator. There was a couple mods.
Yes, she made a little post saying that, oh, hey, look, this happened exactly like I thought it did. Like, hold on, aren't you supposed to be the head community manager? Why didn't you warn anybody? Why didn't you do your job then, if this was exactly what you expected it to be? That person has not been fired, so they seem to have fired the person who went like, okay, leave a negative review, that's your recourse.
Right.
And that person was fired not because they were a bad community manager, but because they made the company sound bad. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Arrowhead is not blameless in all of this at all. Right. They hired these people. They fired the person who did the least wrong, and now they're kind of basking in the glory of having done the right thing. Like, I'm not so sure.
Well, one is fired. We don't know about the fate of the other ones, but I know this goes back to the idea that you give people just a little bit of power, and sometimes they abuse it. And I do think it's really kind of fucked up, for lack of a better term, that they have not fired the person who made false sexual assault allegations against Crumbs. I think that's really messed up. Or maybe there'll be larger punishment. Yep. I don't know.
Speaking of Grums, I went into the Helldivers Discord. And again, it's still on slow mode for 2 minutes, but the word Grums is now allowed in the Discord. And the word is there, and it says,
hey!
So they have changed their ways.
Congratulations. You can speak in the Helldivers. Congratulations. All right. Blab said, and I quote, okay, I want to make sure I read this properly because she was very passionate about this earlier today. In our DMs, Blab
Can we
said,
read our DMs now?
Yes.
Okay.
He says, The Rhino video is a must tomorrow, or I'll unleash my wrath. So, Blabs really wants to talk about this.
Yeah,
What are we going to
only
talk about?
because last time Arch was on, we did a whole deep dive on a little deep dive on Disney Star Wars, and we unleashed that Luke Skywalker is gay now. Well, Disney released a new little mini show called Tales of the Empire, and there is now a non-binary Jedi. What? And the best part is they don't even know this person's pronouns, but they just know it's a non-binary. So they it's not even like, oh, they just stopped fighting and like, oh, excuse me, by the way, are you male, female? Like, what are your pronouns? No. They just know like that.
They know
it. How?
Yeah, no. I watched that. I was I did a video review on it, and I'm still considering whether or not I want to release it because this show was terrible. So like Tales of the Empire. What the fuck, Tales of the Empire? Like what? Some person who died to Ahsoka who has no backstory, and some other person who has no backstory.
All these characters are shit. And they were just trying to put it in there to gain sympathy of villains like Barriss, because let's be real, Barriss is a villain. Yeah, and she's like, oh, we can help them. It's like, how the fuck do you know that's a non-binary Jedi? That is literally a person who looks like male or female, whatever. But in that video, Rhino had so much difficulty trying to figure out if it was male or female. I was like, what is that? So shout out to Raging Rhino who's going through it and actually suffering for the rest of us so we don't have to.
You can find Raging Rhino at Rhino Raging over on X. But yeah, it's pretty fun video. It's about 4.5 minutes long. I definitely encourage you to go check it out, as he's kind of calling it before it happens, and he's like, "What the fuck?" So pretty good stuff.
It's just this is where we're at with Disney, and everyone's like, "Oh, Dave Filoni's savior of Star Wars," and we're at the point where it's literally a non-binary Jedi that you just know it's non-binary.
Now you know, Dan, because of course, how dare you not know, but just by looking at them.
And they're like, oh, we can save them, referring to one person. We can save them.
Of course.
Fuck.
Well, look, you guys have been spectacular today. It's been a really good show. Lots to talk about. And you guys obviously have a lot to say about this. So we're going to get to some of your support. And thank you guys very much. As Johnny came in and gifted a membership to the channel. Thank you so much, Johnny KS69. If you guys got gifted membership, make sure you guys say thank you. Also, Halcinator came in with a $50 direct donation. Says, good work to y'all shedding light on these people. Arch, please educate the panel on the delectability of horse meat.
Horse meat is delicious. With scrambled eggs and potatoes, yeah, great.
What?
Yeah.
I've had
you can get horse meat and Swedish meatballs from IKEA.
I've had horse meat in Japan. And I found it very stringy. It was very stringy and tough.
Thinly sliced. It needs to just be like wafer thin little slices. That's how you do it. You can't like eat it like a steak. That's a very bad idea.
Okay.
Noted for future pony eating right there. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate that, Halcinator. Mercenary says, these people think having families and kids makes you a creep. This isn't projection. This isn't even a medication psychological thing. This is demonic possession. Full stop. I said it before. This is a spiritual war, and we are seeing it. T-Mac Burninator came in, says, feeling compassion is good. We just can't drop our guard. Be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Thanks, T-Mac Burninator. Appreciate it. Commodore Fan came in with a $3 direct donation using the Streamlabs link. Says, there was a time in the 70s through the 90s, we would be putting these wackos in mental homes where they belong. Make mental homes great again. Yeah, that's nailed it, Commodore Fan. Appreciate that. All right, let's get to some of these super chats, Blabs. I'll let you read them off.
All right. So Epsilon Alma says, Darth Jar Jar got nothing on Darth Blabs. I am a Sith Lord.
Go.
That's true. Music and fiction. 'Tis time for torture. Blabs. Yes. And pyrotechnics.
All right.
Orthodox monks. Despite GW's garbage, that mech, walker, and vehicle buff or detachment that can give your Stoompas 20-shot Super Gatler lethal hits on top of the sustained hit one that is already has is pretty DACA. What? Thanks. What is that? Arch, is that something for you to answer?
That's GW rules, the 40k rules, yes.
Gotcha.
Detachments. Yep.
Okay. Cody, not bad, but Craig needs more orc and less grot. Okay.
All
Thanks,
right.
Cody.
Thanks, Cody.
Sarah, who said body pillow? I didn't. Did you hear it? Lord J. It puts the plushie in the jar or it gets the hose. Thanks, Lord J. Matthew, Blabs did not rule out a Blabs popcorn bucket. No, none of that either. No thanks. Initial C, the Indy punch sound comes from hitting a pile of leather jackets with a baseball bat. Indy's pistol sound is from a lever action rifle. Yeah, I love watching behind the scenes where all these guys who do like sound effects and everything and they make all the cool stuff. Very fun. Leon, love the talks on here. Big thanks to Arch. If it wasn't for your Space Hulk video, I wouldn't have picked up 40k after a decade-long hiatus. Thank you very much.
Sounds cool.
Rabned. Remember, for 11 months, that's awesome. Lego Indiana Jones was the first game I bought for my first console, DS Lite. I played it before I saw the movies. I played the PC version before DS. Yeah, the DS versions for Lego obviously are not that great because they can't hold as much, but they were fun. Robert, member for 3 months. Puss is the bust. Craig, 2024. Yeah.
Puss is the best. There you go.
All right. Can you say this name now, Craig?
Beer Bear Beard.
Oh, good job. Raiders was kind of ruined to me by someone pointing out that if Indy wouldn't be there, everything would happen the exact same way. Anyway. Torgo the White. Wow, talk about...
If Indy, hold on. If Indy wasn't there, things wouldn't happen the exact same way?
Would have happened the exact same way in the Raiders.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Torgo the White. Wow, talk about gamified autism with the NWC game. Thank you very much, Torgo the White.
Right.
Kyle says, the batteries are charged. Every cat-owning girl boss's favorite line in America. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
Ken, I'm 59. Been gaming since before they even had graphics. Enthusiasm was so much greater back then, in my opinion. Yes, thanks, Ken. I am the Icarus. Our frontman spent $100 on Quake for Sega Saturn. What a dork. Thank you.
Your
mystery.
frontman knows his stuff. That's good.
The mystery member for 8 months. Shut up, Craig. Oh, hello, all. Craig, you missed out all chaos. That was Tuesday night main event after you left. It was hilarious. Thank you, mystery. NZZ member for 12 months. Smash, can you ask Alyssa to DM the wife of my children? I want the divorce to be her fault. Jesus Christ. Thanks, NZZ. Lord J, how do you feel about your husband harassing women online? Says the reporter harassing women online. Yeah. Very true. J-Mac, ironic that many of those Kotaku types actually do mean something violent when they say eat the rich or end capitalism. Rules for thee and whatnot. Thanks, J-Mac.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you, man. Thanks you so much for your 50 gifted memberships today. Massive.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Samuel, Nintendo could go find a lake to jump in with that championship crap. YouTube is very censor happy with chats, by the way. Thank you, Samuel.
By
Tell
the
us
way,
how you really feel.
Delta comes in with a $1 donation. Says also, quick tip to the chat. Streamlabs offers 100% of our support directly to the streamer, and you don't have YouTube little sensors where it fails to send the message, and you aren't given a text cap based on how much you support. Have a good one, folks. That's right, Delta. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Slagless. Arch, have you read The Lion, Son of the Forest? These are they, them pronouns, fig space, Marines, not slannish followers. Lion learning to do better.
Haven't read it. I have avoided most of the modern day 40k lore stuff, but I have seen Mike Brooks moving ever deeper into 40k with neo pronouns, etc. Yes. There was even, apparently there is gender transition surgery in the Imperium now.
What?
I would have thought they would have better things to use the resources on, but there we go.
What?
Okay. Wow. Mercenary. The problem isn't she's off meds. She's on drugs. Or both. Chris. Alyssa is in screw it Blaze of Glory mode. She knows she's getting fired soon, and she's just seen how many she can take down with her. She is the Titanic. Sarah. Arch is a connoisseur of crazy. Oh, did you know that?
No, now we know.
Rolanda. She praises the end of Grums and calls it a joke, but it's not a joke the other way around. Double standards much? Yep. Craig's favorite account, Beard comes back for 10 years and says, I almost slipped up, I know. The thing about progs, they believe that they must always push. Every second not pushing is the second wasted. Never relax. You do that for 10 years, and it's no wonder they're all insane. Thank you very much. Slagless again says, do not forget that these people want you broke, dead, your kids bored, and brainwashed, and they think it's funny. Sam Hyde. Sure enough. Dwight Power, I think it's clear that now that Morgante has some genuine mental issues and needs to seek professional help. This is serious schizo behavior. Thank you very much. Initial C, I feel like Alyssa is just an attention seeker that will do anything for attention. You might say she's astro-turfing herself into a low-cal status. Oh my god, can you imagine she's going to be in a low-cal podcast soon?
We should introduce her
ESP and all.
To Keemstar.
Oh gosh. You hit up Keemstar and be like, you want this wild-ass banana head on your stream.
So crazy.
Durna says, just imagine how narcissistic someone would have to be to think that your wife will leave you over an argument with a stranger on the internet. Yeah. Wild. Excelsius says, please notice how everything is an experiment, like a game to these people. Let's try this tactic and see if it works. Yep. Rob on Wheels. She's acting like a fucking child. Thank you, Rob on Wheels. The Emperor. These people are just low-tier god if he was put in charge. Thank you very much. Aiden Prez. These kinds of insane people who go after families of the people they beef with and harass them should be put in jail and get sued. I also have words for these activists, punk cowards. Oh, 100%. The Real Holsteinator. I can sympathize with someone bad having happened to these people, but they choose to respond to it the way they do. Yeah, correct. Matt Hatter. Craig, you're too kind. Current year doesn't deserve you.
Thanks, Matt Hatter. I know.
Rob on Wheels says, too many people making too many problems. Yep. Aged Boomer. Must be Craig's alt. So sorry you and your family had to go through this. Smash, JT. You've gained a new subscriber today. Just swinging today. Alpha Omega. Definitely racism based in their ideology. They're constantly dumping on anything out of Japan or Korea after the two safest ethnically homogeneous countries. Very true.
Thanks, Alpha Omega. Appreciate that.
Xenothium. Hail, Arch. Thank you for gatekeeping. How does it feel to be proven so thoroughly right?
I'm used to it at this point.
Animate says, Arch, you need to speak with your cat if you feel this way. Anyone not playing Helldivers 2 now said cat is calling them tourists.
No.
What?
I'm just not as simpy for corporations as you are. What can I say?
Thank you. Everyone was shitting on me Monday for saying, hey, don't give them any slack. They're a fault too. Oh my god, shut up, plebs. Thank you, Arch. I feel vindicated. A feline named Vajayjay. Arch, you sound fancy. Could you instruct Blabs to get back to her tower? Oh, yes. Okay, here we go. All right. Ready?
Get back to your tower?
Perfect.
Thank you. Future boy. Craig, do the seal clap bark again, please.
Nope, we're good. Bark, bark, bark.
That was shit. All right.
By the way, aren't you going to join the likes of Dean Cain telling Blabs to go back to her tower?
Blabs, go back to your tower.
Yeah, I just got that timestamp, so thank you. There's like
Good.
a whole bunch of people there. Master Gawa, wives should stand with their husbands always, but especially against vile women like journos. And Helldivers team still too liberal to be trusted. Red Strider, YouTube won't let me make the obvious non-binary death in Minecraft joke, but Disney knew exactly what they're doing since the actor bragged about representation. They always do the stupid thing first. Thank you very much. And holy shit, Big Blue Mina Mikus for 100 British pounds says, as much as I love the developers, I think today's topic calls for the parent to sing We're Not Gonna Take It by the Twisted Sister.
I got it.
Oh gosh. Okay. We'll get back to that one. Thank you, Big Blue. Flynn says, Craig, everyone has a black hole.
Yes, everybody does.
The Rand Man. I am Sofa King. We Todd did it. Thank you. Orthodox Monks. Will you 3D print the only coolest part of the Tau Empire army, the Kroot, to play the game with? Kroot. Did I do that right?
All Kroot army is the only way to play Tau. I do agree.
Okay. Will you 3D print?
I will. I got 3 of them in my basement, actually.
There you go. Look at Craig pumping himself up to the Twisted Sisters. It's funny how it's called Twisted, and we were going to talk about the Twister movie. Stevie I am says, Arch, jealous of Sargon?
I am. Sargon was officially made 40K canon by Mike Brooks as a little hate reference. I wanted to be that.
Shaker came in with a 199 with a Norm Macdonald joke. We always love Norm Macdonald jokes. Says, after grisly photos of the murder of Nicole Simpson were shown to the court, OJ turned his head away and wept. It was at that moment he realized he would never be able to kill her again. Thank you, Shaker. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Blake came in and says, Lord Blabbermort. There you go. Dude says, wow, Blabs, nobody cares about the birthday of a re-release on the same console. Next, we're going to start getting the birthdays of greatest hits releases. That's right. I was kind of surprised you put a re-release in today's Today in Gaming. But that's cool. Whatever. You're the picker of it.
Yes.
Lord of the Re says, hail Blabs, Craig, and Arch, game journalists, community managers, and Discord mods are gayer than ISIS. Fuck these. All right, I can't read all that. Lord of the Re, thank you very much for your support. Lieutenant Zipper says, yep, I bought a bucket hat once, Craig. Put it up at the end of last month. Bucket hats for the win. Wish you had a light colored one, though. Maybe we can
see that's what I was saying, that jean one. But then you were like, guys wouldn't wear jean ones. And I was like, yes, they would.
No one's going to wear a jean bucket hat.
Like a bluish, light blue color hat.
Big Top came in for the 5 who picked up the bucket hat. Says, looks like everyone's favorite gaming journalist is butthurt from all the deep dicking. Okay, thanks, Big Top. Appreciate that. Sal says, these people are just power hungry because they're getting away with it for the last 10 years. Now they're panicking because their old tactics aren't working anymore. Yes, that is true. Blabs, read off that from Beard, please.
My name is in no way hard to pronounce.
Tough for me. Triple B. There it is. Al MF381 says JT has a point. If you look at what these naughty cunts publish, they consider Asians to be white because they tend to be conservative. It's ideology. They don't have morals. F it. Match their crazy. And Shane came in and says, all this is shenanigans. Non-binary is about as real as Craig's vocal talent. Oh, thanks, Shane. Appreciate that. It's very sweet of you. Speaking of vocal talent, how about I sing Big Blue Mini Miku's song, We're Not Going to Take It by Twisted Sister. Are we ready for it?
Yes, you are.
Arch, you know this song, right? Twisted Sister, We're Not Going to Take It?
Not the slightest clue.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Ready? I'm going to pull it up. We got the lyrics to go along with it, and I'm going to turn this down a little bit for everybody. Can I turn this down? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
God.
All right. Here we go. Oh, sweet Jesus. Take it anymore. I thought that was pretty good.
I mean, I know the song. I just wanted to hear you sing it.
I thought I did pretty good, and I hopefully I did without getting us flagged.
It's like we've been demonetized, poof, suspended.
Oh, God, the tomatoes once again, ridiculous. Oh, God, stop with the tomatoes, guys, ridiculous.
Poor Arch is never going to come back now. He's like, I'm done. That's it. I've had enough.
Oh my God.
Look at him. He's not even denying it, Craig. He's so sad now. He's like, my ears.
I'm done. I'm out. I was supposed to come on every couple weeks. Not anymore. I'm out. I'm done with this nonsense. Angry Salt Shaker came in with a massive $50 direct donation. It says corporal apology sent, and everyone is taking the bait. Hold fast, fellow divers. Arch, what is it gonna cost to get another Primarch vid? Kurze is great. Kurze. How do I say that?
Curse, yeah.
Curse is great and all, but the others need some love too.
Too much research takes too much time. I don't have time anymore. I've become a middle-aged woman who can't find enough hours in the day.
Welcome to the club. Uh-oh. There we go. All right. Oh.
I don't know. Is your pride flag getting too big?
It is. It's only, yes, a little too big. I can't add another thing down there. We're almost done, by the way. We got to fill up the yellow and the purple and the red down there, and then we're done, which is great. We'll start a new design on the wall. And finally, Blabs the Tower Tard came in with a $2 direct donation. Says, I know eat goats. I have a goat named C. Only day you can watch me goat C on camera. I love violence and grabbing people by the stones and throwing them into walls and Jack Daniels. Yay. Thanks, Blabs the Tower Tard. Appreciate that. My goodness.
What?
Flynn, I don't know. Flynn said, have any of you played the game Destroy All Humans, and how much do 3D printers cost, Arch? We'll start there. 3D printers cost.
Well, it does depend a lot on what kind you're going to get and, what capacity you're looking for and, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're looking for a top end one, you're probably looking at about $1,000, which is quite a bit. But bearing in mind what you can make with it, it's not that bad. If you want something really ridiculous, you're looking at up to $4,000 or $5,000. But at that point, you're looking at professional quality, which why do you need that? And if you simply just need something for miniatures or even like basic stuff, like making cutlery, vases, God knows, $200-$300.
Okay. So if you wanted to make your own figures, that's easy breezy, like pretty easy to do.
Relatively, the biggest thing that's holding 3D printers back at the moment is that they can be fiddly to set up correctly. Like that's one of the big things, that because often you have the STL files themselves, which give you a rough estimate of what the machine is going to do, but then there'll be little bugs or quirks in it that means that it won't come out quite right depending upon printer types, etc. It can be fiddly. But this is also why, of course, if you don't want all the unnecessary fiddle of getting a 3D printer, and if you want it for models, well, there are people selling 3D printed models on the internet for 1/3 of the official ones. So that's an option too.
Interesting. And as far as Destroy All Humans, yeah, great game for the PlayStation 2. Really good, Flynn. Thank you very much. Kate, it says, Arch won't get into 40K. GW contracts forbid it. Thanks, Kate. Antihero came in and says, Arch, you sexy beast. I canceled my major kill support when I learned he shits on you, and now you can get the money. Will you cover the first and only at this point? Will you cover the first and only at this point, preferably 20 hours with the eloquence only you can provide?
The first 3 episodes of the Sabbath World Crusade are entering into editing now. So yes, that will be covered eventually.
Oh, wow. Spectacular. Jonathan says, Arch prediction, there will be female space. They're just going to make the 2 redacted chapters all female. They'll reappear from the warp storm or from a warp storm. Thoughts on that prediction?
Not impossible. We'll see, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, female Space Marines are practically a given at this point, eventually with Amazon. And I'm so far gone now, I'm looking forward to it.
Chica Tamate came in and says most online games in PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 require PlayStation Plus. Sony will find a way to make you pay. Don't believe because they went sawy. You're right. They always find a way. And TRSKS says goat C. Yes, we're not going to look that up on Urban Dictionary. We will not. And Orthodox Monk says How are you going to paint your Kroot, Arch? Spraying them brown like you're Scavin? By the way, do you like just me butchering these names, Arch, every single time? I mean, it's got to be really enjoyable for you to hear me just destroy these things that you love.
Actually, today I was most triggered by Blabs with the lever action rifle. It's a lever, of course.
Oh, lever.
Yes.
Idiot.
I mean, I learned, listen, in Emperor's New Groove, Yzma's always like, pull the lever, Kronk. Wrong lever. So, take it up with Disney.
There you go. And how are you going to be painting your Kroot, Arch?
They will be like the Skaven. Spray paint them brown and then add on little black details for clothing.
All right. There you go. Blake says, I won't throw tomatoes, but I'll throw ketchup bottles when they're well shaken. Yes, nice Kirsche reference right there. All right. Let's get out of here, guys. Obviously, Arch, where can everybody find you and go subscribe to you? Where can they do that? And tell everybody about yourself and all that fun stuff.
That would be at the Archcast, where we do our weekly podcasts, where we talk about wonderful things. We had Razor on last week to talk about the infiltration of Battletech and 40K and wokeism in general. So do check that out if you're so interested.
Link is in the description. We'll make sure you get that in the chat as well. So please go over and check out Arch over there. Arch, we appreciate you coming on, man, as always. We'll see you here in a couple weeks. And obviously, go subscribe to Blabs as she moves closer to monetization over here on YouTube. We appreciate any and all support over here, over on Rumble, over on the Stream Labs link, and today over on Locals, which was great with that massive support. Thank you guys again. Have a great rest of your day and hit the thumbs up button on your way out. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.